Worst guns in history. Number 1. 2mm Kolibri. This gun was designed in 1914 by an Austrian watchmaker. He wanted to try to make a gun that could be very easily hidden. Therefore, he built it tiny. Using the gun was close to impossible due to its small size. The bullets that fit the gun were half an inch long and had no spin or velocity. When the weapon was shot, the bullet could barely get through an inch of pine board. It is not used for self-defense today. It is more of a collector's item. Number 2. The Chauchat. This gun was used by soldiers in World War I, and they were a huge disappointment. These soldiers needed powerful machine guns that could be moved easily during an attack and could provide adequate firepower. This gun didn't have any of those qualities. The construction was so poor that the parts could not be interchanged. The magazines contained large holes that often got packed with mud, so the gun wouldn't shoot. The gun could not aim at all, and it often jammed and overheated. If soldiers were issued these guns, they would throw them away and replace them with anything else that they could find. Number 3. Cochran Turret Revolver. This gun was designed in the 1830s, and it was very dangerous, not for the target, but for the shooter. The gun contained a round disc with holes that would hold a ball and powder. To fire the ball, you would need to move the disc from a hole that was empty to one that was full. This would mean that the shooter would have to point the gun at themselves. The gun often misfired, which resulted in the person holding the gun shooting themselves. Number 4. Davy Crocket. The U.S. military knew that they needed a weapon that had the power to kill millions. They needed something to use as the first line of defense against the Soviet tanks that went past the inner German border. While the NATO commanders thought it was a great weapon, many others disagreed. Using this weapon would turn a conventional attack into a nuclear one, which could have resulted in a world-ending conflict. Regardless of the dangers, the U.S. deployed 2,000 of these weapons from 1961 to 1971. The last above-ground nuclear test in U.S. history was when the Davy Crocket was fired. Number 5. Nambu Type 94 Pistol. This was a very popular weapon with servicemen in Japan. However, it was actually pretty awful. It had very delicate parts that often broke when the gun was disassembled. It was also difficult to reload. If the gun was jammed into the holster too hard, the magazine could fall out. The biggest design flaw is that if the gun was tapped too hard on the side, it would fire. There have been many reports of the gun going off when passed back and forth to soldiers. Number 6. Northover Projector. Winston Churchill needed a weapon that would help Great Britain's Home Guard reservists stop German armor. This is when the Northover Projector was built. It shot a 2-inch projectile, and it was supposed to be able to stop a tank. Unfortunately, it had design flaws. The shells often got stuck in the barrel. This could be dangerous to the person firing the weapon. Also, when fired, it let off so much smoke that the shooter's position would be identified easily. There were 18,000 of this weapon made. However, it was never fired during combat. Number 7. Puckle Gun. This gun was invented in 1718 by a British lawyer and inventor named James Puckle. The gun was a huge revolver on a tripod that shot square bullets. It was meant to shoot at Muslim Turks. It was believed that square bullets could do more damage and it would teach the Turks how to live in a Christian civilization. The gun was very hard to aim and even harder to fire. In the end, the Puckle Gun was considered to be a failure. Number 8. Nock Volley Gun. This gun was designed for the Royal Navy during the Napoleonic Wars. It was supposed to be used at close range to shoot at enemy ships. The gun was very unique as it could shoot 7 bullets at the same time. Sadly, it had many design flaws. It was very hard to aim, and when it recoiled, it could seriously injure the shooter. Also, when it was fired, everything around it would catch fire. The military stopped using it very early on. However, it came back in movies and television years and years later. Number 9. The Duckfoot Pistol. This is one of the strangest-looking firearms in existence and also the most useless. It has 4 .45 caliber barrels, and they don't point in the actual direction you are aiming at. If you're being ambushed by people who are surrounding you, it might help. Otherwise, it is more dangerous than it is helpful. This weapon was not used for long, and today you will only see it in a museum. Number 10. Krummlauf. Nazi Germany believed that they finally found a solution to shoot around corners. The Krummlauf is a curved barrel that could be attached to the STG-44 assault rifle. The idea for this gun was it could send shots from hidden positions. Unfortunately, it failed. The shots could not be aimed, and the attachment could shatter, which could have killed the user. The barrels didn't last long either. The gun was quickly put out to pasture.